Welcome back, everybody, to this week's episode of Things I Wish I Knew About. Today, I'm excited about this episode because I feel like I am going to learn a lot because this is valuable for me. That's really all I do with guests is get people that I want to learn things from that benefit me. And then hopefully by proxy, you guys will learn things too. I'm definitely sure that you will. So we have Mallory Myers here today, who I don't know what your title is, marketing expert, marketing guru, queen of marketing,
Oh
all
my
the things.
goodness.
And she's going to talk to us today about marketing. Hi, Mallory. How are you?
Hi, good, how are you?
Let's just get right into it because I think that marketing, I mean, definitely for me, was something I underestimated having a business, having a brand, having a book. I say all the time, as soon as I wrote my book, I thought in my head, ignorantly, I was like, oh my God, I'm done. I wrote this book. That's the end.
Yeah.
A little did I know there was a whole other career that I would have to take on with marketing because nobody
Yes,
knows that I wrote a book unless I tell them through the interwebs that I wrote a book.
I know, 100%.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to learn about all things marketing.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, fun times. So Lauren, Jesus, we know each other through Lauren and Danielle, I was going to say. Lauren of Low& Co., we did an episode, and then Danielle of Francis and Meyer, we did an episode, and that's how we met. I guess we'll get to how you met with them later, but why don't you give us kind of like, how did you get into marketing? Like a little bit of a backstory. Was this something you were interested in? Were you like a 7-year-old being like, I am going to be a marketer?
Well, my entire family, like my household, are all teachers. So my parents are teachers. My sister became a teacher. She's older than me. So when she was in grade 12, I was in grade 9. I see her going off to university, becoming a teacher, and like she's so passionate about it. She's meant to be a teacher. She's like, you know, just the
Yeah.
perfect person, the perfect candidate for it. And obviously, I got to know the lifestyle my entire life. So, come grade 9, I'm seeing my sister make these decisions. I'm like, I'm going to have to make a decision soon. And so, I said to my parents one night at dinner, I'm just going to be a teacher.
Right.
And they were so mad. And
Oh,
I'm like, in grade 9, I'm like, why are you mad at me for saying, like, aren't you happy? Aren't you thrilled? This is the greatest news ever. We're all going to be teachers.
we have all summer
And
to
they were
spend
like,
together. What do you mean?
and then they looked at me and they're like, "You're just gonna be a teacher?" And I was
Oh,
like, "Ooh, I didn't notice I even said that." I probably say it too often, to be honest. "Oh, I'm just," it's just that it's just in my vocabulary. And so they said, "No, if that's how you feel, you're not we're not sending you to school to be a teacher. Like, if you really think that's it, then you can pay for it, but if we don't think you're passionate about it, go back, figure it out." And I
that's
was like,
smart, actually. That's a wow. Because most people would be like, that's a solid career, right? Sure. Yes, teaching is
yeah."
good. That's a good thing to go
But
for.
I think when they saw, like, my sister and I not polar opposites, but, like, she's meant to be a teacher, and she's so
Right.
passionate, and she's like, "I wanna learn, I wanna do all this, I wanna teach kids, I wanna be with kids all day," and I'm just like, "Summers off sound great,
Yeah.
benefits," riddling off all of the other things, and my
Right.
parents are like, "No, no, you have 30 children to look after, forget all those things, like,
Yeah.
are you gonna care for them? Are you gonna want to do all the extra things to make it special?" And anyway, so I went back to the drawing board and it was rough. I was not into English at all, so that was like, "Oh, there goes teaching really out the
Yeah.
door." And I just came across, like, business programs, and I was just like, "You know what? That'll open a lot of doors. I'm good at math. I'm good at all that other jazz, so why don't I hop into one of those?" And then it gives me another 4 years to figure it out kinda thing
Well,
'cause
it's true.
it's just
Yeah.
so many doors open in, the program. So, I went to McMaster University. I got my business degree, and, throughout my time there, I have to say, I was still a little lost. I was taking a lot of HR courses. I think marketing, honestly, wasn't even really talked about. Like, we had a couple courses throughout my 4 years there. I was 2016 to 2020, and, like, yeah, obviously, marketing was a thing. Always has been in
Yes.
a way, but maybe more digitally, is what I'm referring to in terms of what I do. But even at university, I was like, "Oh, well, I'm a people person, I can totally do HR and deal with all the, like,
Yeah.
business side of people and all their emotions. I can handle that, no problem." And again, my parents were like, "Are you sure?" Everybody I talked to and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna do HR. Are you sure?" I'm like, "Oh gosh." Like, well, I'm in it now, and I can tell you I'm not gonna be an accountant. So,
Right. Right.
we're running out of options here.
For real.
And I'm like, "Okay, I've really dragged this on for about 8 years now, so I gotta
Right.
figure it out." And then actually when I graduated, it was 2020, a little bit of panic set in,
Sure.
obviously, and I didn't even have a graduation, it was just like exams were
Yeah.
done, I did them in my basement, it was kind of weird,
What a
and
bummer.
at the time, I was like, "Okay, great, I'm home, don't have to go back to campus," like, really, I was looking on the bright side here.
Were you
Then
living in Hamilton?
I was living in Hamilton in a house with there was 7 of us total. So, it was a very busy house,
No doubt.
and it was so fun, but at the end, I was just like, "You know what? Summer starts early, I get to do exams from home, like, okay."
Yeah.
I dreaded, like, filling those rooms for exams,
Mhm.
so I think for me, I was like, "Perfect, I'm just gonna sit in my basement and write them." Anyways, crazy, like, timing, Vince's Market, a local grocery store, they have 4 locations,
Yes.
Sharon, Uxbridge, Tottenham, Newmarket.
I did an event at the Sharon one. It's lovely. It's cute
Oh,
little,
nice,
like,
yeah, it is
boutique
so good.
grocery store. Yeah.
Yes, yes, it's
Yeah.
the best. So, I worked there when I was 14, as a
Oh, did you
cashier, as
live
my
in
first
Newmarket
job.
before you went
Yes, I live in Newmarket.
west? Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, sorry, I didn't clarify that. I just lived in Hamilton
No,
for
no,
the
that's
4 years of
okay.
university.
That's okay.
So,
So you called
I
them up
came
and you
back
were like, "Listen, I can help you?"
it kinda just happened, like, I was in there, I'm always in there, my parents lived down the road, and then when I had always worked there throughout high school, and then I did a little internship to see because everyone was testing me about HR. I went back, I was like, "Oh, I'll spend the summer doing it with them, see if they do it," and they took me in with open arms, they were amazing. So
Oh,
I got to
nice.
see the HR side of things, I was like, I mean, I liked it, I there was
Yeah,
nothing bad about it, especially there, it's such a family feel.
for
I'm
sure.
sure it's different for, like, corporate jobs.
For sure. I love a grocery store. My first job was Loblaws, and I
Yeah,
love a grocery store. Like,
it's the best.
I could
Mm.
read every label. I have a
Yes.
grocery store problem. I worked at head office. I get it.
Ye I know.
I get it.
I I say that to Tim, I'm like, "I love going grocery shopping." I walk in that store, I'm like, "This
Same.
is the best night ever."
Yeah, same.
But anyway, so then when I graduated, they had, one of their people in head office on mat leave, and so they asked me to come on and kinda help, and then they were open and honest, they're like, "Once, like, she comes back, we'll figure it out, don't worry, this like, it's not like a one-year thing, we'll
Mhm.
find another role for you to take on." So they were very, like, generous and amazing and helpful, and it honestly took such a weight off my shoulders because I, got to work, like, 15 minutes from home,
Yeah.
and I didn't have to stress about, like, commuting or doing any of that jazz, especially with COVID happening and being, like, so fresh.
Yeah.
So I jumped right in and I was doing, like, a lot of HR, I was doing payroll, it's a small grocery store, so or a small company, so you wear many hats, everybody there does, and it's just kind of the way everybody works, and it works great, obviously, but I ended up saying, "Let me take over your socials," like, who's doing them, whatever. There wasn't really anybody, like, running them, it was just kinda something that
What was the impetus
was
for that?
happening
You're
and
like, "I think I can do this. I think this is something I'm interested in. I like socials, and I wanna see
yeah,
what I can do
I
for
think
you?"
I was just yeah, so I know, I started them when Instagram became a thing when I was there,
Yeah.
and I was, like, 16 years old. So I was like, "You know, I did it in the past, and I was 16, now I'm,
Right.
22,
I have a whole
why don't I give it a
degree.
whirl?"
Look
Yeah.
out.
And I was just like and I knew, like, we needed to add some things to my title because I only
Okay.
had a year worth of full-time work. So, and yeah, I was just like, "You know what? I think it's fun, like, who could not like doing that?" And
Yeah,
it's a grocery store, there's endless things to post about, like,
totally.
you can never run out of ideas.
No.
And yeah, so that's kinda where it all took off, and I worked there for 4 years, and then I just recently, last year, started working for Bulk Barn as their marketing specialist.
It's so funny, like, I was saying to Mallory the first time we chatted, I pitch companies all the time. Cold pitches, I pitch companies like, "Hey, do you have a
Yes.
social media concept? Is there something that we could collab on?" Whatever, and I pitched Bulk Barn, and I remember writing to Mallory because I love the name Mallory, or it reminds me of, like, Family Ties, or I think is
Yes,
it
that's
Family
what I'm
Ties?
named
Yes.
after. Yes.
Is
Yeah.
it? Come on.
Yeah.
So I always remember the name Mallory, and I remember writing to Mallory my pitch, and then it turns out it was you. She turned me down,
Yes, I
guys.
know.
Guys.
I honestly I probably didn't respond if I'm being completely honest.
But listen, to be fair, I mean, we can talk about that after. I'm sure you get so many pitches. Companies don't respond. That's what it is. Like, and it's you can't
Yeah.
take it personal. I get no's or I get nothing all the time.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I think it's a full-time job replying no
Oh,
to
I'm sure
people, so I'm just like, I
for
can't.
sure. But that's
Yeah.
the nature of the beast. It's just it is the business.
Yes.
So then, did you just
Yes, for
apply to
sure.
Bulk Barn? Is that what happened? You were like, I kind of want to expand this a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, so, I mean, it felt like a breakup with Vince's. I was definitely like there was tears
Right.
shed. I was like, I don't wanna leave," but
We got to grow.
and I was feeling, like, really eager to make some moves in the marketing world and, like, kinda hone in my skills on it just because I still felt like I was doing so many other things. I wasn't always, like, 100%, not in it. Obviously, I was giving my all, but I was responsible for other things. Yeah, I just the job opened up, and again, I don't know how I keep getting so lucky. Their head office is in Aurora, I'm like 20 minutes from home. I'm
What a
like,
dream.
this
And you'd
is so
also
great.
you'd worn so many hats at Vince's, you kinda got to hone in on what part of marketing you really liked,
Yeah.
which is so nice. And it's not
Yes.
HR,
Yeah. No. So really, in
turns out.
my path to marketing was about 12 years,
Yeah,
if I'm being completely
but we're
honest.
here now. So you work at Bulk Barn, that's your actual job, but you also work independently, which is kinda how I know of you, how we got connected.
Yes.
And that so how did that happen? How did you meet up with was it through Vince's maybe because of the
Yeah.
different,
So
workshops that are there?
yes. So Lauren actually, I met through Vince's when I worked there, but obviously at the time I just worked for Vince's and we would just chat and she's just so lovely,
Yeah,
buy a couple bracelets,
for
away I
sure,
go.
as we do.
And then yes, you can't not.
No.
So then when I started working at Bulk Barn, they are amazing. I have Fridays off. And so, I mean, I got settled in and then I was just, again, feeling a little itchy, kind of eager. I'm like, I feel like I could do something here. I have 3 days off every
Yeah.
week. Like, what could I do with it? And I've always just been kinda like I like to be busy, I like to be, like, kind of having to run around. It's
Mhm.
what keeps my brain going. So, I was helping a friend with his just for fun, he was starting an accounting and, like, a financial consulting company, and so I was doing all of his socials, and he kept bugging me like, "You gotta do this, like, people need you." He's like, "I could never
Totally.
do that." And then he would, like, sometimes be over, and I would just, like he'd tell me what he wanted, I'd whip it up, I'd show him, and he's like, "That was, like, 0 time that you just put it." I'm like anyways, that is what led me to do Marketing by Mallory because he was really, really pushing me, and I was like, "Okay, well, what's the harm?" Okay, I create an
Yeah,
Instagram account, I start throwing my name out there, posting stuff. If nobody reaches out, nobody reaches out. Well, like, I am such a big believer in, like, the worst anybody can say is no, and, like,
for
what does
sure.
that matter,
And
you
even
know?
times I say all the time, it's like, it's a no for now. It doesn't even have to
Yeah.
be no forever, you know? Like, I'm gonna
Yes.
pitch Bulk Barn
Yes.
again, and one day,
Yes.
one day,
I will
Mallory will write
I
me
will put
back.
in a good
You
word.
know what I mean? Like, it's a no for now. They may not be in the right space. There's so many variables, you know? And it is a no. Who cares?
100%.
Again, I pitch Drew Barrymore once a month. One
I
day.
love it.
One
Yes.
day. But
I
why not?
manifest that for you.
Yeah, who ca
100%.
why not? And then
Yeah.
so did you
So
pitch Lauren or did Lauren pitch you?
so Lauren, actually, she's the sweetest. She reaches out, she's like, "I was waiting for you to do this." And I'm like
It's the best.
it was my first message. I'm like, "You were waiting for me?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, perfect."
You're
I'm
like, "I've been
like,
here
"I
the
was waiting
whole
for
time."
you."
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just, I feel like Lauren's whole thing is like magic and she truly
Mhm.
is magical. It felt like a fairy godmother coming to
Yeah,
my
and but
side, to be honest.
created such beautiful pieces for her, and I think that's a big part of your skill is that you kind of whoever the client is that you're working with, you really cater it to exactly what kinda their brand is, you know? Like, Lauren's stuff is
Thank you.
very Lauren, but it's so
Yeah.
like, you've done it, but you can't tell that you've done it, and I think that's the job of an
Thank you.
excellent marketer, right? Like, it needs
Thank
to
you.
look authentic to the brand, to
Yes.
Lauren.
Yes.
Lauren is a very busy person with children and whatever. She does not have time
Yeah.
to create all of the content that you create for her,
Yeah.
that you put out, because every day I'm like, "Fucking Mallory," because like, there's so much. Like, I'm like, "This is" so good, but it's like, and the same thing
Thank
with
you.
Danielle. Like you can tell now, I can tell because I know, and I know what I'm looking for, but I'm like,
Yes.
this is
Yes.
100% Francis and Meyer brand. And now even Parents
Yeah.
Canada, now I gave Parents Canada your name because I was like, they need help.
Yes.
They need help. But I can see the difference even in like the last week. You know what I mean?
Thank
I
you.
can
Thank you.
very clearly see
I
the effort
appreciate it.
behind it, which is
Thank you.
amazing. I know. So now it's
I
kind of
think
taking
that
off.
it is for sure. And it's funny because if you asked me, I mean, not exactly a year ago because I started it in January, but if you asked me in January, my thoughts, I
Yeah.
would have been like, again, I'm just hoping for the best here.
Yeah.
I've always just kind of been like, go with the flow and whatever happens,
See where it goes.
happens and look on the bright side. But now I'm honestly in like disbelief. I'm so grateful and I feel like it truly is like meant to be and I chose the right thing all
Yeah,
those years ago.
100%. Is that the goal? Is the goal to just be marketing by Mallory one day? Like solely?
It's hard to say. I would
Yeah.
love to. I think that's like really not close.
Well, I mean, it hasn't even
I
been a
also
year. It
love.
hasn't even been a year.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I that is the dream, of course. I think that
Right.
that would be the end goal. But at the same time, there's definitely perks to the other side
Of
too.
course.
And I love my everyday job as well.
I love Bulk Barn. I was there yesterday.
Yeah,
I love Bulk Barn.
I know. But
I
like
have a Bulk
when
Barn
people
platinum.
ask me yeah, when people ask me what I do for work and I get to say that I bake and I film it and I make videos, people are like, "Are
Terrible.
you kidding?"
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds
Yeah.
awful. What a dream.
So, I mean, I really am like I feel like I'm the luckiest girl in the world. I'm like, I'm baking, then I'm filming jewelry and candles, and I'm here, I'm there. I'm like,
For real.
I
What
can't
a
complain.
dream. Okay, so listen, I wrote down some actual marketing. Let's put your degree to the test. I wrote down some actual marketing questions that I think people might want to know, or I mean, I want to know, and hopefully we can be helpful for some people because audience is pretty varied. But if there's somebody who has their own business, who's kind of trying to get out there, or they're just starting,
Yeah.
I'm sure you have valuable information because it can be very daunting. It was very daunting for me because for me, when I started, I was like, I guess I have to learn Facebook ads, but it's just like so much
Yeah.
bigger than that. Like truly in my head, I was like, I guess
Yeah.
I'll put up a Facebook ad and then that'll be it. But that is not it at
Yeah.
all. Like
I know.
that's like shouting into the void. I don't know if you've ever done a Facebook ad, but I want to
Oh,
murder
yeah.
someone. It's terrible. There
Yes.
are
I know.
so many variables. So we're going to put that away for a minute. Never talk about Facebook ads again. At least if I don't even have Facebook anymore. I can't do it. Anyway, let's talk about happier marketing subjects. So, in
Yes.
general, with marketing, let's assume we're talking to small businesses because big people have big budgets and teams doing it. So, is there something
Yes.
that you think is misunderstood like that for me? Let's say, like, you have to buy Facebook ads to be successful. Is there kind of like something that you think is misunderstood by people about marketing in general?
Yeah. I think that kind of what you started it and opened it up with are those when we're talking specifically for small businesses
Yeah.
is what you're comparing yourself to. Because again, you're a dreamer, you're going for the big end goal. What you're comparing yourself to are those big companies with those big budgets and big teams. And like, you just take a step back.
Yeah.
You don't need to be like that. And I think that there's just so much pressure to be perfect because forget even big companies. Now you have content creators making like these reels that you're like, how did they do that? Even myself, I'm on like socials every day, all day. And I'm like, I don't even know how they did that transition. Like they're a wizard. I don't
Honestly.
know. So
Honestly.
some advice. Yeah. That's Harry Potter for all I know. I don't know. If I get invited to wizardry school, I'll figure it out, I'm sure. But I think that like it's more of like a piece of advice I would say is like baby steps.
Yeah.
I
You
think that
don't
you
have to
really have
create
to
6
narrow.
funnels.
No, and I think that the key is actually building up like that engagement.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could just be your face talking to your audience with nothing magical happening behind you or any transitions for that matter. Just tell them your story or whatever. And I think that people forget that there's so much content out there these days, an alarming amount. um People, honestly, it has changed so much, it's shifted so much. Nobody even likes things anymore. Everyone's just got this scrolling finger, and so I think the key is to really make them stop, and in my opinion, making them stop is, like, connecting with them, giving them some sort of feeling or relatable, like, content, and, sometimes people just jump in and it's like ads or, like, selling, pushing this, and whoa, whoa, whoa. Why would I buy anything from you? I don't know who you are,
For
what your
sure.
story is, like, and I think that people forget that that's actually a really important part.
For
Um
sure.
no matter who you are, like even Vince's, their story matters to people. Wouldn't think that, "Oh, it's a grocery store." To anybody, like, it's like, "No, no,
Yeah,
no. That's a family-owned business, and that story, you should see the comments that come in on their socials if you post one of their faces. It's amazing.
totally.
It's a community that you're building, and I think that, I will say, like, you're for me, this is my not everybody agrees, and that's totally fine. Marketing is like there's many different ways to go about it, but for small businesses, it's like you have your website, you have your branding. That's great. If somebody goes on your website, it can look prim, proper, exactly how you want it to. And I mean, you can tweak it and change it when you need to, but your Instagram, I think, should be authentic, funny, fun. It's social media. It does not need to be serious. It does not need to be overcomplicated. You are getting your message out there, I think, most importantly, authentically.
Yeah,
So I think that
100%.
people assume that just, like, pushing content out and just getting as much as they can out there, so whether it's, like, graphics or whatever, and kinda, like, pushing it down your throat, I don't wanna say that, but it just kinda
No,
feels like that sometimes,
for sure. You hear so many times
is
where
a
it's like,
mistake.
"You need to post 4 times a day, la, la, la," but, like,
Yeah.
just pump your
No.
brakes. I don't wanna see your
Yes.
face 4 times a
No.
day. Thankfully.
1,000% do not do that.
No,
Um, I
I think
mean, I think
authenticity is
that
key.
yeah, and, for example, like Lauren, people love when she goes on and shows her face and does some talking and or
Yep,
even like a live and talks and shows her products. I mean, Danielle Francis Amari post a reel of her face on it and it blows up. So it's
yeah.
just knowing when and where and obviously I'm not saying everything has to be funny and nothing can be
No,
serious. I'm just saying you should have a mix of both for the right reasons. You really have to like take a step back, analyze what you're trying to get across here, but if you have no engagement to start off with, you need to be putting out something that's getting some likes. Otherwise,
no,
everyone's just gonna
nothing.
keep scrolling. No one's clicking that.
For sure, and I think people get lost in the for me, done is better than perfect. Like, in reality,
Yes.
I have maybe 1.3 seconds of somebody before they're gonna go, you know? And
Yes,
if they're
yes.
and they may just go anyway, but I had somebody I went on a podcast, it was like a backhanded compliment, and she was like, "You'll just put your face out whatever. Like, you don't have to be done up with makeup, like, you'll just whatever." And she meant it like which is great, like, I wish that I could do more of that. I keep thinking I need to have my
Yes,
makeup done and my hair done
of
or whatever, and I
course.
was like, "Alright." But it's true. Like, I'm just like, if I
Yes.
think the thing, I'm gonna tell like, right now, like, you know, I'm gonna
No,
do
but
the thing and not get
yeah,
so caught up in the aesthetic of it or the perfect website or like, people
yeah.
don't care as much as you think that you do. You care more than they do.
Oh my gosh. That is like the number one thing I tell
Yeah,
people. I mean, I don't think I'll get it across to anybody as much as I'd
I
like to, but not everybody, most people that I have been working with are always like the grid, this, that, like everything has to be perfect. And I'm like, okay, I hate to burst your bubble, but I'm
yeah,
about to.
yeah,
Nobody's going to your grid and looking
never.
for perfection
I have never followed someone
more
based on a
than
grid.
you are yourself. Yeah,
Never.
okay.
I have never looked at a
Different,
grid and
like
be like, I love the continuity."
yeah. Yes.
Never. I will follow you for one good recipe, one funny thing, one good post. Like,
Yes.
it's so
Yes.
silly. My wife is the same because she does tattoos, but she'll post a tattoo and it's beautiful. They're wonderful. But
Yeah.
if it's just the image, people look at the image and then they go. But if she does a
Yeah.
voiceover, if she takes a second and
Yes.
does a voiceover on one of her posts, it explodes because they want to know
Yeah.
who's behind it. They want to see the person
Exactly.
creating the work, which is all
Yes.
you have to do.
1,000%. Yes. And even if, like, for example, your wife, let's say, okay, I mean, tattoos, I'm sure it all looks very nice on her grid because, again, that just naturally flows.
Sure.
Let's say it didn't. Let's say she threw a couple of pictures of the dogs in
Yeah,
and family and whatever, and
which
it
she
was
does.
just a mishmash of her life, which I personally love. If somebody was going to her profile, the reason they are going is probably to click a link to book an appointment, for example.
Yeah, they wanna see who she is.
If you are on that mission, you are going to their profile. In your head, you already, like as a consumer, made the decision that you were going to book the appointment. You already like the person. So you are just going to the profile and clicking the link and booking the appointment. You're not investigating. And
No.
sure, somebody like your wife, a tattoo artist, you might actually creep their profile, not creep, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
take a
For
gander
sure,
at their profile
for sure.
and see what it's about. But again, nobody's sitting there judging your grid. They're just looking
No.
like, "Oh, that tattoo's nice. Oh, look at that work she can do like this, that, the other thing."
No
No,
one's no.
if somebody's judging your grid like that, you don't need
I
them.
am I'm going
Forget it.
into your grid to see what your partner looks like. I'm like, "Are they married? What it what do they look like? Do they have kids?" That's what I'm going for. I wanna see the life behind. I already like your stuff. Who are you as a person? That's what
And
I
my argument yes, and my argument is that if you create a brand that is authentic and your socials reflect that, then your Instagram grid will flow.
Yeah,
I don't care what you post. If it is
for sure.
you and what you are trying to get across and it resonates with you and it's true and authentic to who you are, everything that you post will align
I
because that's
totally
just how
agree.
it's gonna work.
Because there's so
I
many facets to you. Like, you're
yeah.
not just gonna put like, if I just put up recipes, gross, who the shit wants that? But mine'll be like, breakfast television, then a recipe, then I'm being an asshole in a
Yes,
post, then there's my dog but that is Stacey, right? Like, who in turn is
exactly,
Stacey Green Living, like, you're getting all of it.
exactly,
Okay, excellent.
1,000%.
I have
And
more questions.
it doesn't matter yes,
Go. It doesn't
go
matter what.
for it.
No, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, for you, your personal like, it is Stacey Green, but even if it was
Yeah.
Frances and Meyer, like,
Yeah,
she can post candles, she can post her dog, she can post, their
totally.
life. It looks
Totally.
amazing, you know?
But
I
that
think
is a
people are
small
overthinking
business,
that.
right? The small
Yeah,
business is so much more than just your candles or just your store. There's people
a
want to
1,000%.
see who is behind it. Like, I don't care about Galen Weston, Loblaws. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes.
I don't care about
No,
you,
I
Galen
know.
Weston Jr., although I do like TC products.
I know.
I do love them, whatever.
I know.
My
I
second one
agree.
was one marketing myth you wish was gone, but I feel like we just did that with kinda like this perfectionly curated grid moment. So those are kinda combined. Is
Yeah.
there one on top of that? Probably not. I feel like we touched on it.
Also, the other one we touched on was, like, posting so much. I'm
Oh,
really not a
yeah.
fan of that.
Yeah. But talk about
I
that because
think that
that's
would
a
be
big
another
thing
one
on
to touch on.
TikTok. Because TikTok, I don't know if you're
Yeah,
on
okay.
TikTok at all. TikTok is a
So
wily beast, guys. It is I always tell people, like,
yeah,
I have far, far more followers on TikTok. Like, I have almost 400,000 on TikTok and, like, 13,000 on
it's
Instagram.
amazing.
But TikTok it's a completely different medium. It is like the swiping is different, the follows are different, the engagement is different, everything is different. It is like a wave pool versus a lazy river. Like, it is
Yeah,
truly, like, and I never know what's gonna hit. Like, honest to God, the algorithm, who fucking knows? Like, stuff that I'm like, "This is so good."
I know.
Nothing, nothing. And then things that
Always.
it's like off the cuff, down a hallway, it's like nothing's lit. It flows. So,
I know.
I mean, maybe
I'm
you
the
have a
same
different
way.
experience, but if people are listening and they're really trying to take off on TikTok, please don't. Like, don't try to don't put your self-worth in
Yeah.
exploding on any kind of social
Yes.
media because it's so fickle.
I know. So I 100% agree. I also think that there are some not myths, I think just misunderstandings of TikTok,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to Canadians.
Yes.
It is very different for people in the US and
Tot
Canadians. So
Totally.
you can have all those followers, you can get all those views. What are you getting from it? Nothing, just eyeballs.
Nothing, and that's the thing. Like, if you're I mean, most of my audience is
Not
Canadian, but
nothing.
we
You're
can
getting an audience.
absolutely, absolutely, and listen, it gives me
Yeah.
clout, it gives me impressions, it gives me a
Yes.
thing that I can say to brands where I'm like, "Look at what I have access to." Absolutely, but
No,
a lot of
100%.
if you're spending I would personally not spend as much time investing in my respectfully, my TikTok audience because I
Yeah.
don't have a creator fund, right? Like those views are wonderful and they can lead to brand deals and they can lead to other things.
Yes.
But if I were speaking to you as someone, kind of just starting, I would nurture the Instagram audience that you have now and attempt
Yeah.
to build because realistically, that's more local. It just, for me at least.
100%. And it goes back to the authentic piece. TikTok, I am totally with you 1,000%. TikTok, while you can get so many views, so many followers, and the numbers are like astronomical, and you're like, how? I have
For sure.
posted some videos for jobs, and I'm like, "Are you kidding?" I'm like,
Yeah.
same thing. I've spent time on videos and they get 0 views, and I'm like, "Okay, never again." And then the one I posted, I'm just like, "Here you go," and I share a little bit of insight, 300,000 views. I'm like, "Are you kidding?" Or
Yeah.
what on my personal account, this was years ago now, we were dog sitting and the dog was like 5 pounds. It was literally this big. And at the time, we had just moved into our house and there was a little bit of a mice situation in the basement. Oh, mind you, this dog is so tiny. I didn't tell my husband that we were dog sitting. I was going to surprise him when he got home. So I happened to be recording because I wanted to send it to my friend whose dog it was. So I'm recording. He walks in the house and his name's Otis. So hilarious.
Mm.
Otis starts, like, barking because he's so excited Tim's home, and Tim is at the door, and he's screaming at the top of his lungs because he, in his head, is thinking rodent. So we've been
Barking
experiencing some
rodent.
mice in the basement. He's, like, ready to drop kick this dog. I felt
Oh,
so
no.
and I'm like, "It's Otis, we're dog sitting, stop." Anyways, I shared it with all my friends, like, through text, and everyone was like, "You have to post this, like,
Sure.
it's the funniest
Sure.
video." I'm like, "Okay, if you say so." I posted it, like, 1,000,000 views, and,
Right?
it's the stupidest thing, and nobody even knows the context of everything else that made him scream, like, he just looks
Right.
like he's terrified of the dog, which maybe makes it better. But
Yeah.
it's like, that's how silly TikTok is. That really is, if I could define
100%.
it, it's like those little moments. So if you do wanna go on it, I would just say don't, like, waste a lot of time. It's just show
Yeah.
up, talk, say what you wanna say. Honestly, TikTok works when you're putting your face on it. I would
Totally. And it's like
yeah,
if you can post there with the idea of repurposing, do it. Have
yeah,
at her. Go nuts, If you can
yeah,
repurpose that content on Instagram, make it a reel, if you can splice something or whatever,
yeah,
totally do it. But don't put again your self-worth in because you'll my very first video that I put up was I did a voiceover of Justin Trudeau when it was COVID and it was so stupid and it was like because
yeah.
he said the same thing every day. So I just did this voice. So I'm like, "Sure, I'll put it up." And it got like
Mhm.
300,000 views, and I'm like, "Oh my god, TikTok's so
Yeah,
easy. Look at
yeah,
me." And then, so I put up another video, and it got like 14 views, and I was like, "Oh, alright,
yeah.
okay. Oh, there is no rhyme or reason. It is what it is."
It's yeah, it's an interesting cat, for
It
sure.
is, but that's the thing about socials. How do you actually let's kind of tap into that. How do you feel about are you an advocate for like creating a piece of content and then repurposing for like TikTok, Instagram, Threads, LinkedIn, all of the things? Is that kind of more bang for your buck?
Yeah, I think so. I think that as much as you can reuse, obviously, they need to have different vibes for each platform. Like, you can't just copy and paste and blurt
Right.
it all out. I think that, people would be surprised that each platform has a very different audience.
Totally. I post things
Yeah,
on
so if
LinkedIn.
you
Like
look
I post my podcast on LinkedIn more than I would post
yeah,
it on Instagram just because I feel like it's a completely different audience. It's a business audience. People want to learn on LinkedIn. They're looking for those
yeah,
kind of connections. So that kind of makes more sense for that,
yes.
I think.
Even
Facebook I could
100%.
drop kick. I don't even post on
Even, like,
Facebook.
YouTube
Yeah.
is, in my experience, predominantly men from what I've experienced.
I don't love YouTube. I mean, YouTube, if you're listening, I didn't say that. But I don't love YouTube. Like I will personally go on YouTube if I'm looking for a recipe, if I'm looking for some quick, how do I do this thing? Or
Yeah.
again, marketing things like how do I
Yes.
do this Squarespace thing? Like how do I
Yeah.
reverse engineer this? But I am not the demographic, right? My son
Yeah.
loves a YouTube
Exactly.
short. He is 17.
Exactly.
He's listening to people screaming I'm like, what is
Yeah.
happening? But if your audience is 17-year-old boys, I mean, have at her.
Yeah, even, like, my husband, like, all that they have so many, like, golf series, I don't even know. He's
Yeah.
watching these people play golf. I'm like, "Who are these people? What is it?" And so it's like, yeah, if you're Titleist, you should be on YouTube, like
For sure.
or,
For sure.
a small golf company or, like, even, oh my gosh, what's it called where you go? hit balls and to the
Simulator?
screen,
Oh, driving
that
range?
place.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, simulator. Like, it's right now, you should be targeting people on YouTube, that's for sure.
totally.
So, I think it really depends, but and that's something too that, like, are you looking at that? Are you going into analytics and being like, "Who's watching this?" And,
Is that something
what
people
are
should
their
be doing
ages? I'd be curious. Yeah, I would definitely be taking a peek,
as a
like,
small
who am I
business?
getting from this?
Right,
Yeah,
people
I
should be
think it's
taking
just
the
important
time.
because and I think if you are I mean, at the end of the day, as much as you're being authentic, you need to know who you're talking to. Like,
Sure.
who are you getting the attention of?
Yeah,
Because then you can kinda gear it, still being authentic to yourself, but gear it to those people. It's like, even for myself when I'm doing stuff for Bulk Barn, I do try and do a lot of, like I'm not a mom, so I ask a lot of friends and family, but it's like I am trying to do recipes and things that are fun with kids or easy and simple that, yeah,
yeah,
you do have 2 little munchkins running around, but you can still make this no-bake cheesecake because it's the easiest thing you're ever gonna make.
yeah.
Um, and that's just because you know who's watching and who you are getting engagement from. It matters who's liking your content because those are the people that you need to come
For
back.
sure.
And those are the people that are going to share it and
Yeah.
say, "Oh my gosh, do you follow so and so? I fell in love with this that they shared." Because at the end of the day, as much as everybody's like, "Oh, social media, marketing, whatever," it really all, if you really like are honest with yourself, it's all word of mouth.
It
It's
is
just
all word
people
of mouth.
sharing it.
Just yesterday, I went to
It's just
dinner
a
with friends
different
and
way.
we said, "Hey, did you see that so and so?" And it's like, "Yes, I did. Now I will follow." It truly is word of mouth
Yeah.
still, and even if it's not word of mouth, it's like you're sending this profile to somebody,
Exactly,
which is word of mouth.
exactly. So you are if you're not knowing who you're talking to, then I think you are missing a little bit of an opportunity, and I think a lot of the people that I'm already working with already kind of know their audience, which is helpful for me, but if they
Yeah.
didn't, I would be like, "Okay, we gotta narrow this
Yeah.
down," because at the end of the day, you need people to share it or care about it at least to maybe mention it to one of their friends out for a walk or on a
Yeah.
on a daily basis.
Even if I work with brands, they will ask for analytics because they are paying for ads, right? So they'll take my
Yeah,
content, they will look at analytics and be like, "Oh, this is very popular with 35 to 42-year-old women." And then they will gear their ads towards
yeah,
that. So they're targeting based on those analytics. So you need to be doing the same, but just like
yeah,
full free, just just cater it when you're speaking without necessarily targeting the ads.
exactly.
Mhm. What would you say to someone? What is somebody starting out? Let's say they started a candle company. That's cool. What is one simple for free strategy that you think company or businesses, small businesses or people, brands could do today? Like literally pick up their phone right now. They don't need anything. What do you think that they could do today?
Uh, am I assuming that they don't have social media or like
No,
they're
let's assume
starting
they
out
have social
kind of
media, but they're
fresh?
trying to build a following. Let's assume they're
Okay.
just starting out. What's one thing that they can kind of increase their engagement with, or what you think a simple strategy that you find that works well?
Yeah. Okay, some people may disagree, but again, I'm very specific. When I say the word trend, I'm not
Yes.
saying jump on any trend. If
Yeah.
there is one that you think is relatable and funny and you can, it's like put it into your own words. Like we're going back to high school here. Don't copy and paste.
Yep.
Take that idea, make it your own a little bit, put your own flair on it,
Yep.
and do the trend. I mean, I don't think there's anything more simple than that. I personally use it all the time for everybody, but
You
I
sent
can
me one the
do
other
the
day. You're
same
like, this would
trend.
be good for you.
Yeah, but it's
For
like
real
I
though.
could do the same trend for 3 different brands, and I think a big mistake that people, assume is because it's trending, everybody's seen it. "Oh, I don't wanna do
Yes.
that, everybody already saw it." No. I can tell you
No.
right now, if I saw a trend and I asked Tim, my husband, if he
Yep.
saw it, no, he never saw it.
No.
So, again, maybe it's on your grid, it's on your feed because that's something you're interested. But now that you have a following, because we said they already have social media there, but they're trying to get more engagement, maybe those people haven't seen it yet, and they think you're the funniest person in the world that
Huh,
you just did that, you know?
that's an
And
excellent
I
point.
have one yeah, I have one brand that I work with, and again, it's a clothing store in Aurora called Decade Clothing.
Okay.
Amazing, and, like, she's just so great. Honestly, I barely make money because 'cause I'm spending it all buying clothes. Every time I leave, it's like, she is just bringing in, like, stuff, especially for women. I'm like, "I put on a pair of jeans, you just feel great." It's like, when do you ever go to the mall and put on a pair of jeans and feel great? Never.
Never.
So, I mean, I thank her for her jean choices, but she is, like, the face of the brand, and when I post her doing I mean, I do them with her sometimes too, I don't make her do them alone all the time, but when I post her doing all these silly trends and I get her to dance, I get her to do voiceovers, like,
Yeah.
all of it, people love it because they love her, and, like, I think that's something that people I know not everybody wants to do those silly things, but I would push you to get out of your comfort zone and do it because I just think it has a big impact, and I think it just shows your audience your silly side, which I think is so important for social media because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's social media, and we don't need to
It's
be
social
overthinking it as
media.
much as we do.
Right? It's
Yeah.
just people are gonna forget it. They've already forgotten. I mean, like, that's a positive and a negative, but
Yeah.
truly, like, you don't need to put as much weight in it as you think that you do.
Yeah.
Like, this one that you're just talking about, I have never heard of it before, right? So that's I will go now.
Yes.
Word of mouth. I will go now and look this
Yeah.
up. But I think that's an excellent point because I think it too. When I see a trend, because it's on my algorithm, because I'm very, specific things show up, I assume everybody in my circle has seen it. Lou hasn't even seen it. Her
Yeah.
her algorithm is tattoos and haircuts and food, like just people
Yes.
gorging
Yes.
on pasta. But my algorithm, I don't have any, you know what I mean? Like I don't have any of that stuff, and we live in the same house, but
Yeah.
and we're
I
both
know.
women within the same demographic,
Yes.
but she
Yeah.
doesn't see any of the stuff that I do. Like, she'll show me something, I'm like, "Babe, that's, like, 3 weeks old on TikTok. Get
Yeah.
out of here," because she doesn't have TikTok. But
Yeah.
it's true, like,
Even
she
my
hasn't
sister
seen it
and I
before. Yeah.
yeah, 1,000%. I know. I feel like people really, misunderstand that part of it, and I could like I said, I've done the exact same trend for 3 different brands in the same week. They have completely different audiences, but if you make it unique to yourself, go for it, and it's so easy. It takes all of, like I'm not
Yeah.
even joking, if you find one, they're so short and sweet, you could film it and have it posted within I'm not kidding, I would argue 5 minutes.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
It's so easy. Yeah.
Truly, you could. I think that's
Yeah.
an excellent point, is to pay attention to the stuff that you like and then recreate it if you can, but in your
Yes, and I think that the other thing too is that if it is, like, fun it doesn't have to be funny, but I keep going back to that,
yeah,
enjoyable, make someone smile,
yeah.
relatable, anything like that. If it is enjoyable for you and you feel good
Yes,
doing it, when you are putting it out, people can feel that you are happy and enjoying it. If you're putting out
for
something
sure.
you're like, "Ugh," they can feel that, and they don't want
Totally,
anything to do with it. So,
totally.
I would yeah, I would tell people to have fun with it and do what they think is fun and not overthink it and just throw it out there, and you'll be
Yeah,
surprised, you know?
honestly. And then do it again tomorrow, really.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
are
5
you,
minutes a
like
day.
are you a one at I talk see, this is the problem. I talk for me, for marketing, I talk in my Instagram stories every day, and I get amazing
Yes.
engagement. I
Yeah.
have a wonderful following of people who write me every day, but stories don't get pushed out to new people, you know what I mean? So, those are my
Yeah.
followers, but that's what makes me happy. That's just, like, the easiest
Yeah.
for me. That's so I do it. It's like, am I gonna increase my follower count with my stories? I'm not, but I'm nurturing the following that I have, you know?
Yes. Yeah, there's very different reasons and, like, you just hit the nail on the head, you're keeping
Yeah,
the people that are following you engaged, and they're not gonna
yeah,
click that unfollow button because they're like, "Oh, what's Stacey gonna say this morning on her walk?" You know?
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
curious. I
Yeah.
wanna know.
I haven't gone today. I will, because we were
Oh
late this
boy.
morning. Anyway, Christ.
It's
Coming.
freezing
Okay,
outside, so bundle up.
last night was awful, awful. It was -16. I was like,
I
"What
know.
fresh hell?" All of a sudden.
Yeah.
Anyways. Okay. What do you think I think we touched on this as well, but what do you think the most trust building thing people can do with their audience is? Because that's kind of what you want to do, right? Like it's one thing
Yeah.
to see a product that you like. If there's two people selling the same thing, I'm going to buy it from the
Yeah.
person that I like, the person that I believe, the
Yeah.
person I'm engaged with. How do you think people can build trust with their audience?
So, yeah, we've kinda touched on it, and I'm a big, this is just kinda my whole spiel for everybody, is
Yeah.
the, authenticity piece and just being
Yeah.
you, because at the end of the day for example, like, the candle companies that I love, they're 2
Yep.
very different brands.
Yep.
I mean, 30 minutes away from each other, I will support both, but, it's like, am I really supporting I love the candles, they're amazing, but you
Yeah,
love the people. Do you know what I mean?
totally.
And
Yes.
each brand reflects that person so well, and so
Yeah,
it's kinda like, even Tim, I'll bring them home, and he's like, "Oh, that's that," and he doesn't know, but he's like, "Oh, that's so this person, that's so that person," like, they're
totally.
so different, but it's a candle, But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, you go because these people are showing up authentically and being themselves and, like, total opposites, I would say, but at
Yes.
the same time, like, creating that magical piece that you get to light and stay cozy at home with. I mean, who doesn't wanna buy that? But
Sure. For
I think
sure.
it's just so important that they're not just selling candles,
No.
That there's so much more to it, and I think it's like, that's where people get lost, is like, "Oh, I just
Yeah,
have to sell this. I just have to push this. I just have to"
totally.
No, 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 no. You have to be willing to share, and I think that that scares people.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. If you're not like I'm not a great example because like I went to school for theater. I enjoy performing. I like being in front of the
Yeah.
camera, like so this is an easy piece for me, but it's not an easy
Yeah.
piece for everybody, but you need to be uncomfortable being uncomfortable,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and the more with anything, the more that you do it, but they need to authentically see you behind the brand,
Yeah.
right? Like a brand we were
Yeah.
talking you and I were talking about the different Instagram profiles with just like stock photos. I don't give two fucks about your
Yeah.
page full of stock photos. That is nothing. Even if it's an incredible recipe, even if you don't show your face, if you want to make recipes, show me your hands. Show me you
Yeah.
making the food. Show me
Yes.
a
Because
person
it has to be
behind it.
real, and
Yes.
especially these days, it's kinda getting scary with how things aren't real anymore, so,
Oh,
um, yeah. So I
I need
think that the big thing at the end of the day is, that comparison I just made of, like,
yep.
2 of the exact same not exact same,
No, no,
they're
I know
both
what you're
at the
saying
end
for
of the
sure.
day a candle shop,
Yep,
and, but they're not competition. They know each other, they love each other because
totally.
you are totally separate, and, like, it's not competition because you are selling and it sounds weird, but, like, you're selling yourself, you're selling your own brand, your own
You
knowledge,
are.
your own passion, um, and that matters to people, and if you wanna go on Instagram, I would argue that you could share more about yourself way more often than you'd probably like to, and every time you did that, you would get more likes than anything else you posted. Like, I would
I
probably put
agree.
money on that.
That happens with Lou, that happens with my wife when she posts us
Yeah.
or our life or putting up a tree or something, far, far
Yeah.
more engagement, but people love her, and she's
Yes.
actually a really great example of this because there are hundreds of tattoo artists, arguably hundreds of very
Exactly.
talented tattoo
Yes,
artists, but the reason that
for
she is so
sure.
busy, that she is booked out, that people love her is because they love her. They love the experience with her. They want
Yes.
her to tattoo, like, they want to sit with
You're gonna
her
sit
for
with her
6
for
hours.
3 hours.
100%. And then there are tattoo artists who are wonderful, but I don't wanna go and be vulnerable in this position. It's a very specific thing, like, it's painful, it's vulnerable, it's intimate.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like your
Yeah.
pants are off, And if you're gonna be
Yeah.
sitting there with me for 6 hours and,
Yeah.
like, you have headphones on and you're not engaged with me, that's not where I wanna go. That's not the tattoo artist
1,000%.
for me, right? They're going
Yeah.
for her because she
Yeah.
creates such an experience.
Percent. It's like the same thing goes back to decade clothing I was talking about earlier. It's like, you go to the mall, somebody says, "How can I help you?" Whatever, and then they ask you when you get to the cash, "Who helped you?" Yeah, that's great. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it's like they have to. I'm nothing against
Like the
anybody
girl
at
with
the
the
mall, but it's like
ponytail, I guess, give her the
yeah,
commission.
and it's like Aritzia is my worst nightmare. You have to come out and stand at the mirrors and they're telling you look amazing. I'm like, I feel like a bag of garbage, but okay, thank you. And I personally am just like the type of person I put something on. I'm like, I either love it or I hate it, and that's that.
Yeah.
There's no in between. I will buy it immediately or I won't.
Yeah.
I might think about it, but I don't know if it's right. I but, like, decade clothing, it's like people go to Dahlia because she's authentic, she's real. If something doesn't look good on you, she'll just say, "Maybe we could find you another option," or,
Right.
she's just so real, and it's like, that's the kind of
Yeah.
help I want. That's the and you
Totally.
go in, you chat with her, it's like a
Style
friend,
me.
and you're shopping. Yeah, and she's so great with it. She honestly is so
Yeah.
great.
Well, I'm excited to follow
And
it.
that's where it's like It's personal, and I think
Yeah.
people forget that I don't care what you're selling, it's personal.
Yeah, that's
So,
a good point, right?
I mean,
It's like you've got mail. It should be anything, it should be
yeah,
personal. But really, market it is personal. There is a big personal
yeah,
element. And people can feel when there's not. Again, with those pages, with stock photos, what are you talking to? Who are you speaking to? You're not
yeah,
speaking to me. That's for
exactly.
certain.
No.
I don't know who
There's
you're
too much
speaking to, but
competition. Yeah, yeah. There's
okay. I have
oversaturation for
one
sure for that kind of
last
stuff.
one because fuck for real. I have been talking far too long. So this I'm going to wrap it up with this one last question. If somebody, they have a full-time job, they have kids, they have life, whatever, whatever. So they're starting a side hustle, they have an Instagram following, it's not very big, they're trying to grow it. If they could only post 3 times a week, what would you say would be good? Like are we thinking like let's take Instagram. Are we doing like one static post, one reel, some stories? Are we doing face to camera? What do you think would be the most beneficial? Let's say they have a product. The most
Right.
beneficial if they can only do kind of 3 times a week to post to their audience. What do you think?
Okay. My I might break your rule. I don't know if this counts as 3 times. I would argue I'm like,
Yep.
"Uh-oh."
Go.
I would if you're starting out, I would argue definitely a reel or 2. I mean,
Okay.
that might be
Every
pushing it.
day?
Definitely no, no, at least 1 reel in a
Okay.
week, at least, maybe
Yep.
2. And I'm
Okay.
really loving carousels recently. So,
Yeah,
like, the
eh? Yeah,
multiple
you and I were talking about that actually. The
yeah.
swipe
So
through?
I think that especially if you have a product like I mean, I am such a big fan of, like, getting some good sunlight. Take your photos on your iPhone. I am not
Totally.
joking. I do everyone's marketing on this one iPhone 13 Pro. So, shout out to them. But, like, it's really don't overcomplicate it. Throw a filter on it. I don't care. Get some good sunlight. Take a photo of what you're taking a photo of. It could be candles, it could be cookies, it could be bracelets. Sunlight,
Yep.
natural light makes everything look great.
I shoot everything
I
in
will
my
tell you a little secret.
right at this window, right here.
Yeah. I go to the
All of
dollar
my
store.
breakfast television B-roll
Yeah.
is me,
Yeah.
no joke, is me at this window with
Yes.
my iPhone.
Exactly. I go to the dollar store, I get Bristol board. Sometimes
Yep.
I'll get the little sticker stuff, make it look like a marble counter. Put it on the floor in front of the window
Well, I went
and
on
do
I
what you
went
gotta do.
on Temu I went on
Yeah.
Temu, and I bought
Yeah.
15 backdrops for my stuff,
I love it.
vinyl backdrops,
I love
back and forth for $12. But,
that's
like,
insane. And they're
now
good.
I have
They're good?
endless they're so good.
Yeah.
They're so good. They're
Okay.
wood grain,
I
they're
need that link.
marble. I'll send you the link. But you know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. I'm not setting up tablescapes. Get
No.
out of
I
here.
know.
Like,
I know.
literally, I have
Yeah.
a couple of backdrops, and it
Yeah.
looks primo.
Exactly. So this is my thing is, little DIY project for yourself. Find a spot that you can make it work, or you have like a desk, just even shove that desk in front of a window for a couple minutes
Yep,
or kitchen table, whatever you have. So I would say definitely some sort of carousel post. And another point to that is don't make it all product photos. Throw your dog in there, throw your
yeah,
life in there. Give a
totally.
little sneak peek. If you don't want to put your face, put your feet in the snow. I don't know, anything. Something
Yeah,
that you love, that you care about.
but put your face.
I think that
But also do it.
writing like a nice caption matters. And then my argument would be, so if I was to say what to do, I would say 2 reels, 1 carousel a week. This is where
Mm.
I'm kind of breaking your rule,
No, no.
is to start off, if that's like overwhelming you, that seems like a lot, just share those to stories.
Yeah,
You don't need to create new stories to necessarily.
yeah,
Keep just sharing what you've already posted on stories, throw some links, throw some extra text over it, reiterate what you're trying to get across, say it in a new way, spice it up. So get the posts on the grid
yeah.
would be my
Because
argument. Get
people
the
also
reels,
don't
get the carousels.
they don't always see the grid too, like, sometimes
Yeah.
the grid gets lost, so sharing it I always share my
Yeah.
grid to my story because you might miss it.
Y
Because I have people that just watch
exactly.
my stories, which is lovely, but if I'm putting,
Yes.
"Hey, there's stuff down here too," then
Yeah.
I'll put it in both for sure.
1,000%. Yeah. So then I think it's just important, like, whatever it is you're posting, you can link to buy it. You can share a little bit more information, how to get it or whatever, DM.
Yeah.
But I would say if, like, you are trying to push that part or just honestly get in a good flow, like, figure out that core 3
Mhm,
however
mhm.
you want, get posting that. Once that becomes your norm, then you can
Yeah,
start talking on your stories and sharing more through there. Honestly, I
yeah.
wouldn't even push for more than, like, 3 to 4 grid posts a week, to be honest. I just
Yeah,
find it
I think that's ample
overwhelming,
for
and I
sure.
think that 3 to
Oh, me
4 is
too.
4 is, like
That's a lot. Totally. You're doing excellent. Also, I think that
Yeah.
people I mean, it might be worth mentioning that people are you're not bothering them, you know? And that was a big deal for me at the beginning when I was trying to sell my cookbook. I'm like, I feel so salesy. I'm always talking about this. Guys, like Sage sends me an email 4 times a day. 4 times a day about essential oils and tension rollers. I love Sage. But like I just delete it and move on with my life. You know, like
Yeah.
you're not bothering people. Half the time they're not
Yeah.
even seeing it. It's so much more in your head than in reality.
That's the thing. You are overthinking it way
Yeah,
more than anybody else. I can promise you that. And at the end of the day, like 3 to 4 posts a week and some stories, if they want to follow you, if you've created this community, the people
totally.
that unfollow you, let them. Don't worry about
Totally.
it. Who cares?
They're
Okay,
not your audience
bye.
anyway, for sure.
Yeah, it's like if you're in a store, like let's talk big store now here, and you see
Yeah.
somebody having a fit and they're, I'm never coming back here. You're like, the person's like, okay, great. So,
Okay.
like, see ya. You know? I feel
For
like
real.
even though you are a smell, you don't want that to happen. You have to like really remember that that's that person that has nothing to do with you
Yeah.
and just let them go.
Yeah. They're
You
not
will
your
bring
people
in
anyway.
way more genuine like customers,
Yeah.
clients, whatever it may be, um, than worrying about those little unfollows. And that's just
Yeah.
normal. That's social media. It's going to fluctuate.
Totally.
Honestly, some of them could be robots. Like, I don't
Oh,
know.
for sure. I don't
Yeah.
I don't even look at I look at my analytics for like where are they from, what is their age, but I'm not looking at my
Yeah.
unfollows. What is that doing for my
Yeah.
psyche? Nothing. There's nothing good there for me. No, thank you.
Yeah.
That doesn't do it.
Yes.
You know what I really love that I've really been loving lately? I love a day in the life. I love watching people.
Yes.
You and I are gonna do one. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
I know.
do it.
I honestly, I think that it's
I
such a great
literally
idea.
I just found this my thing. I was like, there it is to stick to my mirror in the morning because I was like, where did I put it? But I love seeing people's day in the lives. What is your morning routine? What are you eating all day? What do you know, like people, the stuff that you
No.
love, your audience probably loves.
So this I would 1,000% do. And honestly, this is where you have to become a little bit of a pro. So you're on the pro train.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
sounds like a lot of work to people. And
yeah,
if you are nervous to overshare, that is like
for
I
sure.
might as well give everybody your diary and photocopy it and
For
put it all
sure.
over the town. But like I
For
mean,
sure.
at the end of the day, my other point to that is if you want to do something like that trend and you are going to, you are in control. Don't forget that. Don't be like, oh my God, I
Totally.
have to film literally everything I do. No, pick and choose. They don't know what you did in between
Totally.
that clip and that clip. And
Totally.
and that way it's like, okay, then I'm not being authentic. That when you say that, you're overthinking and get rid of it. I'm like, just do
Totally.
it. Don't think.
Yeah. And you
Whatever
know what?
feels
Like
natural to you.
shopping yeah. I'm actually a very private person, which sounds crazy because I share everything, but I share what I'm comfortable sharing and I don't share
Yes.
what I don't. There's a whole other life over here that nobody knows anything about because that's not for them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
everything else, I'm very comfortable and that's the thing too, right? Like share what you're comfortable with. I'll share my workout in the morning, but it'll be a good angle. 1,000%. I will look good in that video.
Exactly. I think that
Uh,
that's just kinda it's a great one, and I think that let's say you wanted to do a version of that and you don't wanna film yourself, okay, here's a great easy, easy, easy one. Take a
Tell
photo
me.
of your breakfast. Take a photo of what you're doing next. Make a carousel. Carousels are trending. Add some music.
Totally.
You don't have to film, you don't have to put your spin on it. Whatever you think feels right is right.
Yep.
Don't overthink it. Do whatever
Yes.
you want. You could create a whole new trend. You
Yep.
don't know.
It's true. I did
So
that stupid I don't like to talk about it because it makes me so mad because so many people stole it and didn't tag me, but that moms on Halloween thing, I
oh my
created that
gosh.
trend. It
Yeah.
exploded. But, like, you
Yeah.
can do anything. Why not? Why not? Try.
Yeah.
What's the worst that happens? Bulk barn doesn't write you
I
back.
mean,
That's
yeah, and you're still living, you know? It's
and I'm still
okay.
living, guys. Drew Barrymore, one day. One day.
One day, one day.
Oh, Mallory, I've been talking to you forever. I'm so sorry, but thank you so much. Do you have any
No,
last
this
minute
has been
anything? I feel like
amazing.
we covered so much, I feel like. This has been
Yeah,
very
I think that
beneficial.
the only thing I would say is just don't overthink it and don't put so
Yeah,
much pressure on yourself to be perfect and
totally.
do you, and people
Totally.
will appreciate that.
Truly, they will. Guys, I never wear
Yeah,
makeup. When I wear makeup, my
yeah.
kids are like, "Where are you going? What's did somebody die? Are you going to a
What's going
viewing?
on?
Why do you have mascara on?" but it's just the way it is. And I still have followers, guys.
I feel you. Yeah,
They
it's that
still
simple,
still
really.
follow my stuff. Mallory, you're the best. I feel like we could do this 500 more times. Maybe we will.
I know, for
Where can
sure.
people
Maybe we
find you
will.
if they want your
Seasonally,
marketing help? Yeah, where are you?
Marketing by Mallory on Instagram. I do have a website as well, marketingbymallory.com. And yeah,
Will
holler
they
at
send
me.
just send you a DM if they're looking to work?
Yeah, the website also has like a little spot to contact me. It'll go directly
Oh,
to my
perfect.
email. So whatever's easier for you. But you can definitely
Perfect.
slide into my DMs. I'm on there every day.
Yeah. Right? Who doesn't want that? Mallory, thank you so much for being on today's episode. Thanks so much, guys. We'll talk to you soon.